What's happening, folks? It's your boy Metal, coming to you here with a little bit longer format video. This is on the battle board. I've been working on this for a while, getting different things to put this together. I've had this for quite some time. However, getting everything together, and I'm still waiting for some specific things for this, but I'm not waiting any longer to do the video. I got impatient. Been wanting to do this for weeks and I haven't been able to. So now I'm coming to you. It's not 100%, but like 99.7% completed. This is what we call a battle board. My version as a Minuteman. Okay. You have yourself a pad folio. I got my name up on there and everything. They usually have a little slip cover thing here where you can put some notebooks, put a map, whatever. Okay. And this one, I just stuck this in here because right on the edge, because it's my pocket one. This is a field notebook. It is a Write in the Rain. I don't do Write in the Rain typically. However, in this case, I do because it is grid paper. I also have a piece of loom tape in here. I can peel that off and I can use it for marking things. Use a regular piece that's not have the sticky back taken off. I can use that as a bookmark. I can use it to charge up and use as light for a page, whatever the case. This is basically for my field notes, my range cards, report notes, things like that, things of that nature. This would normally go in like one of my sleeve pockets on my uniform or inside my coat. Just put it in there so I had it real quick for reference. Anyway, in the front cover, I always keep some type of field book, okay? This is also a Write in the Rain. This is literally just the one to go on the front so I can make quick notes without unzipping this, whatever I need to do, okay? Some of these are really cool, and they have a little ruler, if y'all can see that, little ruler in the bottom. In case you need to measure something out on a map or whatever, they have them in here. Pretty decent amount of paper. I do like carrying these because they are Write in the Rain, but for my packs, I always keep a regular notebook in there with a regular pen. I got them floating all over the place here, but when I look for one, I can't find one, obviously. But I like to keep those because these don't tend to catch fire the same as regular paper would. And I like to have that element when I'm talking about the survival stuff and doing that. But I always keep some type of notepad on the outside of this that I can access for quick notes for some reason, no matter whatever weather condition. Now, these pad folios, you can get them in different sizes. I used to carry one this size, and I had a bigger one. When I would be dealing with instances in like a talk or something like that, we would use the bigger ones. That was the office one to go between the office and the boardroom. The smaller ones we would use in the field. This guy here unzips, just a pad folio, nothing spectacular. Mine's, multicam, whatever. But it opens up and you have all of your stuff for basically an office in the field. Okay. I can do everything from navigation, planning, comms, sending reports, calling for different things I might need logistically from my people back at my main camp, whatever. This gives me the ability to do a lot administratively in the field, but it also helps me with planning with my crew in the field. When you're working from a serve site, hide site, you're working from an ORP, observation rally point, this is your office. This is your administrative ways of doing things. If you need to navigate to plan something, you can do it here. Okay. Inside here, like I said, it's not 100% spec'd out yet. I'm still working on it. A couple things I have ordered that have not come in. A couple things I need to do that I have not been able to do yet because I still need said items. So, y'all see me enough on the live with this. Y'all know I chew. So terrible. But anyway, inside of here, I have things labeled up in these little tabs here. This gives me a lot of different organization. I have report templates made up on 3x5 index cards. One of the things I'm waiting for is my laminator. I have laminating sheets and all that to do all the laminations and stuff for all these cards. So I have report templates. Not necessarily filling these out, but I'm using these as a reference for how to use paper and fill out a said report. Whether it's a salute report. Salute report stands for size, activity, location, unit or uniform, time observed, and equipment. Now, we also have an abbreviated version of the salute, which we call a SALT report. A SALT report is size, activity, location, and time. So it's a little bit simpler. Next, I have listed here is the Talon report, threat and local observation note. Typically, that's focused around vehicles or airborne assets. Vehicle, activity, time, size, direction, unit, and whether it's validated or unvalidated. So those are your 7 points to hit with the Talon. You have a Boris report, buried object reporting and identification system, Boris. This can actually help you predict enemy actions, what they may do, and enables you to potentially get your element together to coordinate some type of monkey wrench to throw into whatever those enemy elements might be doing. The Boris report covers enemy activity, target area conditions, other pertinent information to said activities, and their operational timelines. If you're looking at a window of time between like 1400 and 1530 hours every day, they do this. Between 0600 and 0725, they do this. That's what you would put in here for what the enemy's doing. If they're going out and setting those things in the ground that go kaboof for whatever reason, you can put that in there. If they're going out setting out traps, if they're going out and trying to set out different ORPs themselves or listening posts, LPOPs, things like that, you can note all that in your Boris. We have an under report, which is your logistics. If you need something, like I said earlier, your reporting unit, who it is, your rations, how many you have on hand, how many you need. Everything here is how many you have, how many you need, A and a B. Fuel, ammo, what types of ammo you have, what do you need. Your water, your food, your medical, any other type of items you may need. You want to put that out there by location, date, and time, and you know who it's actually delivering to. If you're sending out like a 3-man element to meet whoever's bringing it up, you want them to know that you have an Alpha team and you have a Bravo team. Bravo team is coming to meet up with them. So when they're trying to hail somebody, they will try to hail Bravo. Your Angus, that is a sit rep, situation report. Excuse me. You want your date and time, which is local to where you are. Your team status. With a team status, it's most simplest to have it red, green, yellow. Are you green? Are you red? Are you yellow? Your current location. Best way to do your current location is a 6-digit grid with your grid zone whenever you're giving that information. I'm going to get into something else here in a little bit that might make all of this a little bit easier if you're trying to give locations. And it also gives it an extra form of encryption, so to speak. So anybody listening in on the radios, remember I talk about SIGINT quite a bit. Anybody listening in doing any type of SIGINT, they're not going to have your code to break that. So your terrain analysis. Grumproof talks about that kind of stuff. He says OAK, I call it OAK. Same thing. Enemy information. Any other information you might have to pass on. Now, on the back of this card, because I might not be the one that's always using this, I might have to give it to Mando and, hey man, can you do this report? Whatever. I have that listed out, what the OCOKA or the OAKOC, observation in fields of fire, cover and concealment, obstacles, key terrain, avenues of approach. Keeping it simple. Explaining METTC and all that kind of stuff here too. And then lastly, in my report templates, I have the 9-line filled out. So if anybody needs medical evac kind of stuff, we have the 9-line template here to go by. That is my reports and templates. I'm already like 10 minutes into this video, and that's just the report templates, guys. That's why I said this is going to be a longer format video. To those of you I talked about saying this is going to be a longer format video, here it is. I also have reference cards. Now, these reference cards cover a myriad of different things, okay? First off, I have in front is my comms card. So I know the pecking order of how I'm doing things with my group, my boy band, how we're going about things. Talking about authentication and duress signals be used during every comms window. So if there's a problem and I hail them on the radio in that comms window and I say a specific thing, they know we're in duress, we're compromised at that point without having to say, hey guys, we're under duress, we've been compromised. They kind of know, and they know, oh crap, send out, get a QRF ready. Only a squad leader or an RTO is going to be transmitting it while a group's underway. While they're moving to a point, only the squad leader or the RTO are queuing a mic. Nobody else is on a mic. All squad radios will be silenced with lights and voice prompts turned off. Like, this is literally setting up the ComSec and everything. Best practices, so on and so forth. I also put on here an antenna listing for what type of broadcasting you're trying to do, whether it be UHF, VHF, HF, CB. It's all listed on here. The different types of antennas and what is going to work best for that type of report or wherever you're trying to go. Reference cards. Card 1, basically breaking down what things are. Reference 2, how to call out threats, how to call out civilians, how to call out air threats, how to call out inbound vehicles. And then we have the reacting SOPs, react to contact, react to flare to drone, react to a scout, how we do that. Also react to vehicle, react to aircraft, react to ambush, how to do all of that stuff here. Also in my SOPs number 2, how to deal with a far ambush, how to deal with a near ambush, how to deal with a vehicle ambush, those kind of things right there. And then lastly, this thing I was going to talk to you guys about in reference to that encryption, right? I talked with Jay, Prepared Citizens. He was on a live, and I said about talking about this and doing a video on this. I'm going to kind of cover it here. I'm hoping he does a video more in depth than I'm just giving like a 40,000 foot view real quick. It's called SARNEG, and that stands for Search and Rescue Numerical Encryption Grid. And it's basically a 10-letter code word with no repeated letters. So it's a method of encryption that you can use for a group's location, and when you're trying to send a message over an unsecured radio net. Also, you can SARNEG written messages, things like that. Use that code. It's a tool that's used in personal recovery operations to send location information without compromising it. The person that's receiving the message has the same codex as the person sending the message. So if you write out 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 0 through 9. All right. And then you take and say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Okay. So you have a letter that corresponds with a number. So as your letter is corresponding with that number, and I'm just using 0 through 9 and A through whatever for an example, but that letter corresponds with that number in this example. You could have it backwards. You could have it the middle of the alphabet. You could have it be a word, a 10-letter word, or a phrase that's 10 letters. However you want to do it, but they cannot repeat letters or numbers. Okay? Use that to decipher with the messaging back and forth. So that's what the Sarneg is. That's just the quick and down and dirty on that. Go through all that kind of stuff. Talking about hide sites, serve sites, with signals intelligence, all that kind of stuff in here. I put a lot of time into these reference cards for a good reason. Nextly, in this side here, I carry a little regular pencil sharpener. Not only for sharpening my pencil, but also if I'm in a survival instance and I have this guy, I can take and I can sharpen a stick to create some kind of tinder for taking a strike of a ferro rod. So I keep that in here, keep this little guy right here in the front. And then my second tab here, because I went over the templates, I want to get over the elephant in the room with this card sticking out. The next thing I have here is my navigation stuff. Now, it's a little incomplete because I am having my maps done. So what I did is I just printed out like a basic, stupid overview topo kind of thing, just to have something in here for the video. Also keep in there a protractor with some gutted paracord. That way I can mark my lines of delineation and my angles. So it makes it easier when I'm on a map. If I know I have to shoot off at this many degrees to go here, I can take and I can strike that line, get that point, take my compass and verify it, mark it out, so on. So this is my nav tools, right? Protractor, map, right in here with the nav stuff. Sticker back in here. And then back there, I don't have anything just yet. Another thing I'm adding. If I do need a ruler, I have one right here that I can use that's bigger than what the little protractor gives me. I am going to be putting some different information in here as well. But then we get into the other aspects of things. I keep a button compass in here. Just in case my flat map compass, they say Lensatic, I use these. They fit in here. Lensatic's a little bit thickums. It doesn't like to let it close. So I keep the flat compass and a button compass. I have these button compasses all over the place. You can even, like, these are the kind that you can slide onto your watch band, stuff like that. But I do keep the regular flat compass with a magnifying glass as well as units of measure on it. It does have glow in the dark on it, so I can see when it's dark. Now, compass to the side. I keep a fine tip Sharpie in case I need to permanently mark something. I have some type of Sharpie, right handy. Also, I have a regular notepad, not write in the rain, anything like that, just a little Oxford notepad for writing up notes. In here too, I put in here, it's a little stylus for on tablets and such, but it comes apart and it's a pen. Another reason I have this is flashlight and, if y'all see that, laser pointer. In case I am having to do something on a map, I can be pointing it out. If I do need white light for whatever, I can kick this on for whatever I need. Should I have to pull a poncho or I'd be in a structure sitting at a table and something's not quite bright enough, I just got this real quick. So I have that handy. I do keep zebra pens. I know ACR loves his zebras, so do I. I keep mine in here though. They are pound for pound some of the best damn pens on the planet. I'm not sponsored by Zebra. They don't pay me or anything. I just really like them because they work really well. Inside here we have the tools. Now I am looking at breaking away from this and getting my own writing stick, zip pouch, whatever. Just because I don't like having this in the middle here. It's how it came. But I am looking at breaking away from that and getting a zip pouch was another thing I'm waiting for. So we have the regular old yellow school pencil. I put in here a couple Coloom sticks, one yellow and one red, for marking. Should I need to mark something? I have the gloom sticks. If I need to, I can use them for light here, should I need. In this, I have dry erase markers, and I put a Ranger band around them. These dry erase markers, they all have their little eraser on them. These things are great for writing on maps that have been laminated, on Write in the Rain stuff, and you can wipe it away. Another great thing about this, one of the things I'm doing when I get my laminator, is I am taking a piece of computer paper and I am laminating it. Flat white paper, it is my dry erase board for in here. Very cheap, easy way to make a dry erase to use in the field is just taking a white piece of computer paper, cutting it down to the size you need, and then laminating that some gun and using these. Great tool. And then I have my other 3 colors of zebra, blue, red, and green, along with the black. I went with 4 colors because you can get differentiation whenever you're looking at a document. Red being hot or important, green being supplies, and blue being, whatever. You can differentiate stuff in reports a lot easier if you're using different colors for denotating certain things. I've always found that even when I do my notes, the bullet point notes and stuff for the podcast, I have always taken every time I do anything, and I have different color ink for denoting certain things. Do it as you wish if you just want red and black, but at least have 2 different colors as everything falls off the table because I'm using the micro table. A couple other things I throw in here. Some guys might not. I do. I only have 2 out here, but I carry 4 safety pins in this in case I need to tack a map or something down. Okay. I also have a big ass paper clip in here. Big ass paper clips. You don't know when you're going to need them. You just do. And then lastly in here currently, I have a piece of bead chain. In case I have to do terrain map marking on a map, I can take, and these things you can make like squiggles. As you can see, it's all kind of Yeah, I can do that on a map and then dry erase around it, whatever I need. Or I can put it on a piece of paper and I can create an overlay on my map using this stupid little thing. I can also use it much like the protractor thing from marking angle, whatever the case. I can do it real hasty with my compass and this. I've done that many times in the past. It's always worked well for me. So I like to tend to stick with stuff that's worked for me for many years, and I never have a problem. This is a little bit longer video than I have put out in a very long time. I appreciate you guys for hanging with me while I do it. As I pick everything up that I dropped off the table. Yeah, the battle board allows me to have an office in the field. It allows me to do administrative stuff in the field. It allows me to do reports. It allows me to navigate. It allows me to battle plan. It allows me to do a lot from a very little package. Some people call these your NAV board. Some people call them the admin board. Some people just call it my folder. Call it what you will. I call it a battle board because when I go into battle, we always had something like this that we would take into battle for planning. They're a great tool to have. For the modern day Minuteman, something simple like this. You don't need to get into the weeds with having to have GPS, this, that, and the other. I can do everything I need to do just with that flat map and compass and protractor. I can do everything I need to do as a current yeehaw. Okay. These are a great tool. Great tool. I cannot stress that enough, how important of a tool this is. If you are not, excuse me, if you're not in a position where you are some type of lead in your mag, having something like this, but even simpler, just with like your map, your protractor, your compass, maybe some pens, maybe some dry erase and a dry erase sheet. That could be enough for you. Maybe a couple index cards with some stuff to just remember this, remember that, or a couple reports that your lead needs you to follow. Okay. You don't need to go into the weeds. One of the things I know Mando always does is he will throw for some reason, a tube of Neosporin and moleskin in his. I don't know why. If he's afraid of getting paper cuts or something. I don't know. That's something he's always done. I don't do anything like that. I have med kits. I ain't worried about it. I just got this little guy. These are a great tool. They're a great tool because you can literally plan what you're going, plan your route, mark different things. If you have a cell phone that's never been hooked to a plan or anything like that, using it as Wi-Fi only or a little Wi-Fi only tablet that has not been set up through the Google machine or anything like that, that is completely side-loaded, you can use those to take pictures of maps, draw things out, take pictures of maps, even like the cell phones and stuff like that, to take pictures to have offline. Should you need a digital way to do something like that. Because we have talked before about radios being able to Bluetooth APRS data and things like that from a tablet. You can send through DMR radio and so on and so forth. You can send those pictures back to your homies so they can see what you're seeing in your comms window. You can make notes. You can draw pictures. You can write out your memoirs. You can do a ton of stuff with this. There's no bad reason to have administrative capabilities while you're out in the field before you go out to fight. Obviously, if you're in the thick of it, you're not going to break one of these out. It's not going to happen. You're going to be doing it from a safe location. Somebody upstairs is having some fun. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day, great morning, great evening, great afternoon, whenever you are watching this video. I am currently recording this while we would normally be doing Whiskey Wednesday. Andrew and I have been both very busy. I was dealing with the sickness. He had some issues, some family issues and stuff. We're both getting like completely waylaid by life right now. We're going to be taking some time and backing off, doing the Whiskey Wednesdays every week and so on and so forth. We'll be getting less frequent with those. Maybe looking at like maybe once a month if we can get to it. Nothing with Andrew and I. We're still great friends. Actually, he was actually texting me while I'm recording this. But anyway, Whiskey Wednesday is still going to be a thing. It's just going to happen way less than it was. But I will be coming up with another video here before too awful long, hopefully, depending on how schedules work out and how the delivery people like me, when I'll be doing that video. Podcast, I've been trying to work on it. I'm working on the Bill of Rights episode, and I am only to like the 5th Amendment, and I literally just wrote out the 5th Amendment. It's already like 30-some freaking pages. It's going to be a 4-hour-long freaking podcast. In episode 66, I'm holding on right now till I get the Bill of Rights one done, and then I'm doing 66. There's been a lot going on if y'all haven't been watching and paying attention to stuff. I wanted to get this out now because of the stuff going on for another tool for the prepared individual Minutemens for them to be able to utilize. So, guys, I am going to jump off of here, go do some other cool guy stuff. And I hope y'all do the thing, the thumbs up, hit the bell for notifications, and follow along and stuff. Make sure you're following along with my boy, ACR Protect. Great guy. Great guy. Johnny Depp, he's a little questionable, but Andrew's a great guy. Anyway, you guys take care, and till next time, metal out.